Connor's Degrassi Unpopular Opinions. So, another unpopular opinions video. This will be number 3. The first one was about the students' involvement with trying to destroy Rick, as in basically they took Emma's cause and basically made it all about trying to destroy Rick and not the cause. Number 2 was about Paige and Mr. O's relationship. And now, number 3. And this video is about the fact that Emma was so into Sean after the shooting. So let me explain about this. As we all know from Time Stand Still Part 2, Rick shot Jimmy. And then Rick somehow found Emma, Sean, and Toby in the hallway. He basically wants to talk to Emma. Sean tries to shoo them away, saying that he has a gun. Don't turn away from me, he goes. Basically, he goes up to Emma and basically wants to destroy Emma for leading him along in his mind. In Rick's mind, basically, Emma protected him because she had a feeling for him. Unfortunately, realistically, Emma was just protecting Rick because, he was being punched and beaten the shit out of. And nobody took the cause seriously. I know that Emma basically, with the causes and all that, some people say, oh, well, Emma is basically being prudent and all that. But, trying to get revenge for domestic violence issues is not about violence. It's about trying to get the person to understand. And I think Rick understood. But I think Rick also was left high and dry, in a sense. So anyway, of course, Rick points the gun at Emma. Sean manages to wrestle the gun from Rick, and then a gunshot goes off. We don't know what happened. Sean's got a broken arm. Got an arm in a sling. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Where is everybody else? Where's Rick? And then we find out about Toby saying, why wouldn't your friend do that? That detective. Toby doesn't know what to do. I don't know why Toby didn't just try to calm Rick down himself. I mean, Rick probably would have listened to Toby, because Toby was Rick's only true friend, if you will. Well, he also thought Jimmy and Emma were his friends, because they were on the Wacky Brain team. So practically, Sean basically saves the day, in a sense. Rick is found dead. Jimmy is shot, but he's in the hospital. Thank goodness that he just is in a wheelchair and not dead. So basically what you got involved is Back in Black. Well, first off, of course, Emma is being comforted by Snake and Spike, and that gets interrupted by Raditch trying to get more inside, and Snake blows him off. And then basically, Emma seems to be decent and all that. She even comforts Toby during the candlelight vigil at the end of Time Stand Still. I liked it. Unfortunately, Back in Black, they come back on the Monday, and people are like, they're coming back to school that fast? Actually, most schools, when they deal with tragedy for a few days, actually allow the school to be open. You go to the school if you want to, but basically there would be grief counselors there. Basically, school counselors who will try to help you deal with your problems. And that's what Degrassi did. Degrassi opened up for the week and basically had grief counselors deal with their stuff. And basically, there weren't really any classes. But basically, yeah, all that. Of course, Sean relishes himself being a hero, being on the front page of all the newspapers and all that. And of course, in one of the clips, basically it's like, wait a minute. They weren't supposed to... If you freeze frame on Sean's... on the second newspaper article Sean did, I think in the first 5 or 10 seconds of Back in Black, basically you find out that you can read it and it says Sean blah 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 blah, and basically if you go to my Whatever It Takes playlist and Back in Black, basically you can read, I freeze framed the picture and basically you can read what it is in front, and I do nitpick it a little bit, I don't know why. So anyway, Sean is a hero and all that. Simpson basically wants to talk to Sean about things. And some people thought that Simpson was basically guilting Sean into the fact that, a boy died while comforting him. could Sean have killed Rick? And then, of course, we see Emma come bursting into the meeting rooms telling Snape, Dad, I can't do it anymore. Everyone's staring at me and all that. Of course, that's basically because now it's public knowledge that Emma nearly died and that Rick wanted to kill Emma for leading him along. So basically, she finds she can't do it anymore, and she basically is upset at herself. And basically, she thanks Sean for being a hero and all that. And everything seems to be A-okay. And then, of course, Emma tags with Sean when he goes to Wasaga to try to confront his parents, who were probably lying about him and all that. Well, Sean also had Jay and Ellie, because, as we all know, Sean and Ellie, at the end of season 3, actually hooked up. Sean was in student housing because his brother left for Alberta and Sean wanted to graduate school. Very admirable. And then you got yourself the fact that Ellie left her alcoholic mother because Ellie and her mother couldn't handle the problems with Ellie's dad being in the army and all that. And of course, Ellie starts to cut herself and all that. Kind of a toxic environment. So Sean and Ellie actually are together and all that. And basically, things happen for a reason. They have a decent relationship and all of that. And then, of course, Sean, Ellie, Jay, and Emma are at Wasaga Beach. And, of course, Sean confronts his past, a friend named Tyler, who he deafened after a fight. Now, a lot of people said Sean was basically standing up for somebody when he deafened Tyler. But Tyler said that Sean was a hit and run artist. He heard Tyler, he deafened Tyler, and basically ran off. And ran off. And that's what we were led to believe, that basically Sean fled. He was a hit and run guy, if you will. So anyway, Sean decides to rent a jet ski. And of course, after hearing Sean and Tyler's stories about how things happened with the deaf kid, Ellie is confused who to believe. Sean kind of starts to open up in a sense, but he says, no, I can't open up. And then basically Sean jumps off a jet ski. You can kind of see that he jumps off in a sense, but thankfully Tyler saves his life. I like that. So basically Sean ends up apologizing to Emma for what he did to her the previous season. And basically he talks to his parents, and then he breaks down and basically says that, Rick died. I accidentally pulled the trigger on him. I feel so guilty. And then we learned that it was Sean's parents that put him in Toronto because they were worried that he would be in jail for what he did to Tyler. So basically the parents were the ones who put Sean, who made Sean leave Wasaga for Toronto. It wasn't Rick himself, and Tyler was just being a dick. But Tyler probably didn't know that. So anyway, Sean stays in Wasaga Beach to deal with his PTSD, and we thought that would be the end of Sean until he come back in season 6. But of course, this is about Emma. A lot of people said, well, was Emma really drawn to Sean, in a sense? And more importantly, did Emma have an inkling that Sean had a girlfriend? For that, you gotta say that, for me, it's like, Emma really wanted Sean. I mean, in season 1, Emma and Sean were an item and all that. They had a few decent dates. But unfortunately, Sean let his anger get the better of him. When he fights Jimmy, he accidentally punches Emma, and that ends that relationship. And then in season 2, he helps Emma out with stuff. And basically, Emma and Sean are an item until Sean decides to join Jay's gang because he wanted to be with somebody who actually appreciated his love of cars and all that. And sadly, though, Emma was dealing with a new baby brother and a stepfather who had leukemia, that being Snape. Of course, Sean gets blamed for a lot of things and all that. Sean basically ends up being the thug life. I mean, geez, Sean. And Emma, of course, snaps at Sean. But Emma has a point, because Emma sees Sean as someone who doesn't really fit the thug life possibility, whereas Sean says that, this is my life. Emma calls him pathetic. And Emma had the right to. Of course, Emma basically used the guise of Snake's missing laptop to try to destroy Sean once and for all. She doesn't get much. She gets something. But Chris calls her out on it and saying that this isn't about Snake's laptop. This is about destroying Sean because Sean moved on and you didn't. So basically, Emma admits her mistake. Thankfully, Chris decides to stay by her side. And unfortunately, they had to break up in season 4. That led Emma to probably a stupid move and try to destroy Liberty and Chris's relationship before it even started. So what you got is basically Emma maybe with Sean. Now you're thinking, wait a minute, if Emma and Sean went off on bad terms twice, why would Emma want to be with Sean? Well, Emma didn't have a boyfriend. Basically, a lot of the 90% of the school wouldn't talk to her because of her supposed what is that word? Hypocrisy and all that. Like, I think Paige basically told everyone about Emma's hypocrisy, and that's why Emma was basically shunned, and her only friends were Rick, Jimmy, Toby, and Hannah St. Clair. Because of the quiz bowl team, and basically no Liberty, no Manny, what are you going to do? But I feel that Emma basically was thankful that Sean would save her life. I think Emma in her mind basically is like, at least Sean was willing to take a bullet for me, if possible. I think Toby would have done that too, because Toby has a love with Emma. But basically, she's probably thinking that no other guy would ever protect me from Rick. Basically, they might have been cowards. I think she had it in her mind that basically no one was going to give a crap about saving her from Rick's gun, other than Sean and possibly Toby's. Also, you got to realize that, Emma might have felt survivor's guilt. Because remember, Emma saw Rick get shot and all that. She saw Sean accidentally pull the trigger on him. But Sean did it in self-defense. And Sean might have fled because he was scared that the police were going to find him and charge him with a crime. But I guess because they knew that it was self-defense, they couldn't do anything to him. So basically what you got is the fact that, Emma wanted to be with Sean because Sean saved her life. I mean, she felt guilty. And, I think she did know Sean was with Ellie, because why else would Ellie have been with Sean, Jay, and Emma headed to Wasaga Beach? But I think Emma really wanted Sean. She wanted a guy that was willing to protect her and love her for who she is. Of course, Sean went to Wasaga. Emma wouldn't see him till season 6, and Emma went into zombie mode. Now, I know that she had the PTSD and all that, and the fact is she should have got the help she wanted. But, I mean, Emma just wanted to be with a guy. Basically, after the Rick Murray situation, she basically was a different person. If you look at seasons 5 through 9 of Emma, you'd probably figure that Emma basically was more into boys. She had relationships more so than being with other people, than her crusades and all that. Is it safe to say that Emma basically stopped being a cause girl after season 4 because of what happened to Rick, and her cause to try to destroy Rick was taken the wrong way? Sure, she stood up to Purple Dragon in season 7. Sorry. Something in my throat. But you also got to realize that, Emma just wanted to be with Sean. Emma and Sean would hitch up in season 6. I think Emma wanted to be with Sean because of the fact that Sean saved her life in season 4, and she never forgot that Sean saved her from being shot. Say what you want about Emma. I mean, she really was appreciative of Sean saving her life, because who knows what would have happened if Emma couldn't be what she was. Emma could have died. Would the school have cared? Probably. So basically, yeah, Sean's a freaking hero. And Emma wanted to be with Sean. Also, you gotta note that with Emma being with Sean, she was with Jay. It's like Emma and Jay. But you can kind of figure that Jay was a string towards Sean. Basically, it was a link to Sean. And being that people say, well, Emma was with Jay because Jay was a link to Sean, kind of figures that Emma wanted to be with Sean, but Sean left for Wasaga Beach. Emma understood, but Emma probably was upset that Sean wanted to go to back to Wasaga Beach and not be around her. I don't know. That's probably just me. But yeah, she dated Jay mostly to have a link towards Sean, and then Emma dated Sean in season 6, rightfully so had him as a boyfriend. But Sean wanted to go to the army and better himself, and Emma wasn't sure. But Emma also knew that she couldn't hold Sean back, but also that she wanted Sean for correspondence. Sean never did, and basically Emma was pissed off and all that. Rightfully so. So basically, what I think is that Emma wanted to be with Sean because Sean was willing to take a bullet for her. Literally and figuratively, of course. And basically, she figured that she was basically on a lonely island because no one else wanted to be near her, except for Toby, but that was creepy. That would be cringe as normal, but it would have saved Toby's character in a sense. So anyway, yeah. So my thoughts on this opinion is that Emma wanted to be with Sean because she figured that Sean was willing to take a bullet for her and basically stand up for her, and basically she thought nobody else would care a crap about her. But, it all fell apart in the end. I'm Jeff Diamond. Thanks for watching. Have a good